Okay, now this one in particular individual, Brian, who's nobody saw this coming. He thought the Queensland would win by 30 or by more than 30. The origin prediction by Bradley Charles Stubbs, i.e., a.k.a. the Coach Whisperer. Welcome back to the Run Home with Joel and Fletch. Bradley Charles Stubbs.
How you going, Brian? How you going, Joel? Just congratulations on your ratings going through the roof. You and Jimmy and the SEN team, I expect you guys to go to number one.
Yep.
So congratulations to you guys first.
Thank you, sir. Osmosis from our man, the Coaching Whisperer.
What do you see? Where do you see us ending up? Where do you see us ending up?
Well, it all comes down to, I actually mentored a few people in the media. It just comes down to your vision. Do you want to be number one?
Okay.
Now, the difference between wanting to be number one is having the vision and getting someone to kick you right up the backside to make you believe you can take them all out.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm after Hadley. I want Hadley. Bradley?
I want Hadley, Bradley.
It's like this. You got to put yourself in front of Hadley.
I will. It's a run at me. He's quite a big man, though.
Well, every time I try to ring you, I can't get hold of you because you're still counting your money from all my predictions.
There you go.
All right, well.
See, Hadley speaks to Bradley. That's where you let yourself down, Brian.
All right, now, Bradley.
Hey, so, Joel,
Yes.
so Brian, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Yep.
I know you love a bet.
Yes, responsibly.
Yeah.
Now, did you get on my predictions or what?
I'm going to be honest here. I did not because I don't like backing a team and going for the other team, if you know what I mean. I just didn't want Queensland to win. That was a smart bet.
Yeah, but let's go back before we go forward. Let's go back before we go forward, and there's articles on this. So this has been published. Adrian Postecoglou and others have written about this. Why, before we look ahead to Origin 2, why did you think Queensland would win by 30 or more?
Okay, so what I do is I watch a month before the State of Origin was on. I watched every interview of Michael Maguire, everything over the media of Billy Slater. First time I saw Billy Slater, a couple of interviews, and I looked and I went, wow, Billy, why are you saying that word? And then I was watching Michael's interviews. And then I watched all the interviews of everything over State of Origin. So then I rung Michael. So if you look at it this way, if you look at a game, they do on how much possession you've got. One team might have 60, one might have 40. So if you look at a team of a game, it's got 100% of belief, energy, and focus. Now, some people in the media keep the energy in the kettle. They don't give anything away. And then some people give the energy away out of their team to the opposition. So I rung Michael on the Friday before the Panthers game. And I hadn't spoken to him for 1 month because he wanted me to work with him for State of Origin, but we couldn't come to an agreement. So I didn't talk to him. I just got on with my life. And I rung him up and I said, Michael, you know my book, the new book, The Science Subconscious? When I rung Graham Arnold, I worked with Graham Arnold for 6 years, the Olympics, World Cup, Sydney FC. And I said, you know, in there that I saw something that was going to happen 2 months before the Asian Cup. I told Michael Maguire exactly, because it's in my book, something I saw with Graham Arnold that was going to happen 2 months before. The exact thing I told him. When I rang Graham, I said, you know Miller that used to play for the Central Coast Mariners? And he said, yeah, his name's Lewis Miller. I said, this is what he's going to do in the Asian Cup. I can see the energy from his subconscious mind, and it's going to cost you the Asian Cup. The Socceroos were 30 seconds to a minute to win the quarterfinals. Lewis Miller does exactly what I told Graham, gave a penalty away. The other team steps up, goes 1-1. They go in extra time, 15 minutes each way. The exact same kid done exactly what I said, gave away a penalty, and they score. And next minute, the other team is in front 2-1. They lose the Asian Cup. So okay, so if you go back, at that stage, if you look at all the belief, energy, and focus of what I could see, is Michael was a country mile in front. So his belief, energy, and focus was about 60%. and Billy's was about 40 because I saw Billy say some things in the media. I looked on going, what the hell who's telling you to say that?
What was he saying?
So I gave him
Bradley, what was he saying? What was he saying? What was Billy saying that got you upset?
Oh, look, that's little trade secrets. Big boy.
Oh, okay.
That's like me giving it away for free.
All right. No.
But
Okay.
seriously.
Was it his
Okay,
tone?
so then
Was it his tone, or was it the words he was saying?
The words
Okay.
and the tone.
All
So
right.
every word from your thoughts has got a frequency. So if you go back, and I told that to Michael, he was there watching the game. I was watching on TV. I spoke to 4 journalists off the record, and I said, this is what's going to happen. And they said, how can you see that? I said, I can just see it. Because in my book, The Science Subconscious, I've got predictions in there that I've already done with coaches on injury scores, the whole lot. So I pre-warned Michael for a reason. Then I read the other day that he already picked a team 2 weeks before.
Yep.
And he was just waiting to see who got through. So if you watch Michael in the game, he's sort of sitting there, watching the game, and the energy was great. And then Nicho got injured. Did you see his energy then?
Mm.
So then what happened was, for 7 months, Michael said to the universe and everyone, I'm going to pick on form, must be ready to train on the first day.
Yep.
With the right mindset. I actually believe New South Wales and the Sharks, medical and high performance, let Michael down and Nicho Hynes. Why? Because they convinced them, Michael and Nicho, he would be ready to train the first day. Now, if you go back to the interview after Panthers beat the Sharks, in the interview, Craig Fitzgibbon said, if Nicho gets picked for State of Origin, I just hope he gets through it. Then what happened is after the game, so my energy of what I saw, because I never heard anyone say Nicho was 100% fit, and the energy from someone's subconscious mind, doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't lie.
Okay.
So I believe Nicho went into that game not 100% fit. That's my equation of what I saw. After the game, he had ice on his calf. Then he got rested for last week, and he plays tonight.
I'll tell you what, Bradley, Belief, Energy and Focus is on the board, Brian. They are loving you. So 6 to go, play on.
We've got a question here. What sort of prediction can we see this early out, Bradley, about Origin 2? Can you see anything?
Okay, after it went viral because Adrian from he's on your show on the Saturdays from Sydney Morning Herald sent me a text that was live, so people around the world that couldn't watch it could watch the scores. Another 2 papers picked it up. I actually put an apology. I said, sorry, guys, Queensland only won by 28 points, and they had 3 still left on the bench. So after that, I said, I'm not doing predictions anymore. After that went viral, I had every man his dog. You guys, because I respect yous, are the only one I'm doing an interview with, even though I got absolutely inundated.
Yes.
Thank you, Bradley.
See, I knew we'd do that, Brian. I told you.
What can we see? Can we see?
No, hang on. I want to ask one thing. One thing.
He's bouncing back.
I want to go back one thing. So you watched all the interviews. Jake Trbojevic, the captain. Did you like that move? How did he handle it? Do you stay with him? If you're advising Madge, what would you say to that?
Okay, I'm not going to answer that question because, like I said, I rang Michael. I hadn't spoken to him for months. We couldn't come to an agreement because he wanted me to work with him for State of Origin. We couldn't come to an agreement. I'm not going to give you a 1% there that he gets for nothing. Like, seriously. Look, it's unfortunately New South Wales has got no money for staff, right? That's all right.
Yeah, okay. All right.
What would you charge, Bradley? Just out of interest? What if we could get some sort of like GoFundMe page to get Bradley Charles in the New South Wales?
Here we go. I like this.
Brian.
Give us like a ballpark figure.
It's like this. I like sitting on the sidelines now. Why? Because I ring the people in the media. It's like I made a prediction at the start of the year. to 4 media people about the Broncos. And they went, what? I said, yeah, this is what I see. So we're going to have to wait for that year to go through.
Okay.
Lionel says...
Because I gave...
Lionel says, loving the chat, boys. Can you ask Bradley, what does he see moving forward for the competition? Is there a team that you see building or a team falling apart, says Lionel, who's loving it?
Good on you, Lionel. Lionel the lover.
Yeah, hashtag loving it, yeah.
Good question, Lionel. Okay. Well, it's funny. If you look at statistics, about 30 points, am I correct, that will get you into the top 8?
Generally, yes, yes.
Right? So if you look at anything right now, any team right now can win the comp. There's some teams that the energy's changing. Like because I worked with all these coaches, sometimes I send them little 1% because I see something. It's like last year when Kevy lost 3 games out of 4 or 3 games out of 5. I sent him a 1%. He sent me a text back and he calls me mad, Brad, and he said, is that all you got for me?
Yeah.
So he rung me. And I said, asked him a question. I said,
Brad.
what the hell are you doing that for?
Yeah.
Go back to what I taught you. Now, people will go, well, you're involved in for the state of origin and you didn't win. Okay, let's hear the real story here. I worked with Kevy for the state of origin first game. We won. No one gave us a chance. After that, he listened to all the good game people and he thought he was getting his career organised to be the next Prime Minister for Australia. When you work with these coaches and they win, their egos go so big, they're organising their campaign to become the Prime Minister of Australia. He didn't listen to anything I said the second game.
Okay, actually, you know what?
I got the blame for it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have another question. I have another question.
Yeah, I've got a question too.
I want to ask you, because you're pretty much spot on with this, our man, Ange Postecoglou, you said, and if I can get it up, you said they'll finish top 6. Guess where they finished? Where they finished, Tourist? 5. So you were spot.
Actually,
what did you
I look at Ange. Ange has looked at my profile on LinkedIn a few times over the last 3 years.
Who's that, mate?
There's
Sorry?
a couple of little 1%s.
Who's that?
With Ange.
Ange. Oh, Pozza. Ange Pozza, you saying? Ange Postecoglou, you say? Bradley.
I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but we'll just say Ange.
All right, sorry. Postecoglou, yes.
I've got a good question, yeah. So
Anyway,
there's a couple of 1%s. If Ange just changes a couple of little 1%s, he'll become the most successful soccer or football coach out of Australia.
Yeah, wow.
I want to ask about in the news, and I can see the 2, if you're watching by YouTube, by the way, you can see the 2 Roosters jerseys behind you. Brandon Smith. Now, his energy around the club at the moment, and you're probably across this story at the moment, Brad, where he's missed a half-season review and been left out of the team this week. What's the best play here? Can you get him back on track? Does he need to leave? How does this play out? How does this affect the group? What do you see forward for the Roosters?
Okay. If someone can do it, Trent can do it.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
That's all I'll say about that. It's like, you hear stuff and whatever, but is it true? I don't know.
A fair answer.
The only person who would really know that would be Trent, because I look at coaches and I go, what is a coach? I look at it as a different way. I look at them as a brain surgeon. When you get to the Parramatta thing you want to ask me about, I'll explain to you in very detail. Then you guys will be able to answer the question, or any of the Eels supporters out there, on who would you pick. Now, a head coach is like a brain surgeon.
Wow. Who would you pick, Brian?
I don't know too many brain surgeons.
You've got a fair head for them to explore.
Okay, let me just explain this to you. So if you look in the coaches right now, and if I said to you, Brian, I think have you got a couple of girls, 3 girls, Brian?
I've got 3 girls, mate, yes.
Okay, just say something happened to one of your girls or someone close in your family that needed a major brain operation.
Yes.
Because you got to take the same to think the same way as hiring a coach. You got to look at them as a brain surgeon.
Okay.
So, if you look at the brain surgeons at the moment, who have you got?
I got Charlie Teo.
You've got Clint Eastwood. He's won 2 different teams.
Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, he's a brain
That's
surgeon.
Wayne Bennett. I call him Clint Eastwood.
Craig
because
Bellamy.
he can be sitting down without even a pair of twos and win.
Yep.
And then you've got Craig Bellamy. He's won 6, but he got 2 taken off him for unregistered medical equipment.
Yes.
Which was
They weren't sterilised.
Right? Then you've got Ivan Cleary.
Yep.
Is he
won 3 major operations in a row. And then you got Trent Robinson that's won 3.
So they're all brain surgeons.
Go back,
are they all the surgeons?
they're all brain surgeons.
All right.
It's an analogy.
I know it's an analogy, but
because
what's a rank coach then? What's someone who's struggling a little bit?
Well, it's like this. You can be a coach in the NRL because for 20 years, buy beautiful houses and go from one team to another and be an absolute loser as a head coach and make a fortune.
Correct.
So it's like, if you're going to pick a brain surgeon, okay, so the other brain surgeons are the ones that have won 1 comp. So if you look at, I don't even know who all the people are for the job, but if you look at it and go, some coaches are unreal assistants.
Yep.
They'll never be a head coach. And then you look and go, what results have they got? There's some people actually been put up there that have been assistant coaches that haven't even done a major operation with an under-6 team or an under-18s team, and their names are up because the press put the names up because some of those coaches leak them information when they become head coaches, so they push them. So Wayne Bennett has just been picked up by South Sydney. If I was Parramatta, I'd go to those 4 major brain surgeons and I'd go back to Wayne and say, Wayne, we'll give you $2 million a year plus up to $1 million bonuses for 1 year over 5 years. Any of those coaches that I've just named there that are not getting paid $2 million a year plus $1 million worth of bonuses, you teams, clubs need to go to church and pray to God because you got them for too cheap.
Hey, brother, we've only got 3 or 4 minutes left. How did you go? Last time we spoke to you, you were chatting with, and you wouldn't tell us, an international coach. You wouldn't even tell us what code it was.
I'm still waiting for that one to come back to me because that one's got some major legal issues at the moment. But I can tell you that my name has been put forward to 3 NFL sides. So to me, I'm just going to go and win an Super Bowl.
Okay. Okay. Is it AFC or NFC?
I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know where they are.
But okay.
See, I love the honesty, Brian.
Yeah. What about the team?
Can you make the noise of the teams?
Yeah. What was their mascot? What do they do?
I wouldn't even have a clue what their mascot looks like.
Okay. Have you had a? Okay.
But see, he doesn't care. It's not the sport is irrelevant, Brian. That's the point you're missing.
I know, but would you have to go over and live in the States, or can you do it by Zoom? How's that all work?
Oh, look, I've worked with coaches that I just do by social media. I probably would go over, spend some time there, maybe come back, maybe stay there for 4 months. I'm not sure at the moment. Just depends what the universe is saying.
All right.
Yep.
Can you see anything in the universe next?
The whole universe is texting in.
Yeah, I know.
They're loving this.
They're loving it. Yeah. I just need to know about, can you give me some sort of hint about Origin 2? Are you seeing good stuff in the universe for the Blues, or is it too early to tell yet?
No, there's already some energy out there at the moment.
Good or bad?
Well, there's some good for someone and some bad for the other one.
Okay,
but I shouldn't be able to tell you that because I'm not on anyone's coaching stuff.
Oh, okay.
Can you select part of the team? Is there somebody who you see out there, energy, all that sort of stuff, that you think has to be in the team?
Well, you sort of look and you go, there's some people that you've got to put in.
Yep.
And then there's some people you look and go, Wow.
Okay, Latrell Mitchell.
If you look at
Latrell Mitchell's the big
if
one.
you look what Bill, sorry,
Latrell Mitchell is the big talking point. Based on what you've seen, heard the last few weeks, start of the year, have you got a lean as to what you do with him?
okay, Latrell's a beautiful soul. I had somebody give Latrell a little 1% before the game last week, and that person sent me a nice photo of him and Latrell back to me because Latrell said hello.
Mm.
Latrell has got beautiful energy. The thing is, who's the coach that taps in to bring out the greatest in him? Because I actually still look and go, Latrell hasn't even reached his peak.
No.
And if everything goes right, I'll probably catch up with him maybe, I don't know, when I go to Sydney or something.
Where are you now, Bradley?
I'm on the Gold Coast.
Oh,
Hey, Bradley, we've got a text from Barry from Sylvania. He wants a tip for the Stradbroke on Saturday.
Hey, Barry, look, I got a couple of racehorses. I got one that third race, one a Group 1. I just do that for a hobby. It's like this. If I'm going to do something, I got to watch everything that's going on. I got to watch the energy. I got to watch everything. It's like I'm just sitting back now, listen to all the media about what's going on for the next state of origin. And it's like, well, it's interesting. Some of these media people, if they think they're so good, why don't they put their hands up to become the coach?
Yeah. I tell you what, we've got to go. We've got to go, Bradley. But we appreciate your time, and you absolutely nailed State of Origin 1. But I just want to give you a few shout-outs here because the board has lit down. 227's just teched in, loves it.
Lionel loves
Lundy, 053. The Budsters all over it. 026 wanted the Stratty tip. Mick's all over it. Paul from Belrose. Tomo. It just goes on. Troy the Slippery Eel. Palms Redmond. It goes AP, Mick, Will, Matt, Mark, Josh.
Here we go.
Board
Romper
has
room.
not stopped.
Romper room.
It's like romper room. I feel like Miss Elena.
Hey, Joel and Brian, let me just ask you this question.
Yep.
Who in Australian sport does what I do, predicting injuries or predicting scores?
I can't think of anyone.
No.
I can't think of anyone.
No, for the
Where